Good morning, class of 2020, or good afternoon, or good whatever part of the day this is for you guys at this time. Like I said before, I was going to give you guys an update on some stuff that is coming up here towards the end of the year, and stuff that's pretty much relevant to you. First, I do want to say thank you for all your hard work during this time that we've been at home. Your teachers are saying that you guys are doing a good job for the most part. I think that you guys have adjusted well and have adapted, which is what you have to do in life. Sometimes you got to modify and adjust, and you guys are doing a great job of it. Hopefully, hopefully this might be building us up for something bigger and better in the future. Okay. But a couple things, all right. First, I want to let you know that senior exit interviews are still going to happen, okay? They will be May the 22nd. Please, please, please make sure you're checking your email as we get closer to that time, and make sure you continue to prepare for those interviews. I do know that Mr. Bartholomew said that he would make sure everybody would be ready. So just kind of, again, check your email, stay in contact with people, and we will let you guys know some more info, what group you're in, what time the interviews are, as we get closer to that date, okay? So again, May 22nd. They're going to be held at roughly 8 to noon, okay, via Zoom. So just kind of be prepared for that. Let's see. Next thing. Well, first off, the leadership team met with the senior class officers, I think it was last Friday, all right, to talk about, graduation stuff, to talk about end of the year stuff, to talk about the stuff that you guys still want and still want to do. All right, so that's kind of where some of my information is coming from. I do want to go ahead and put this disclaimer out here before I get into any other details is the plans that we're making now are planning for the worst, but hoping for the best. Does that make sense? So if we are able to come back and do graduation traditionally, we're going to do it. If we're able to come back and you guys are able to do your senior walkthrough traditionally, we're going to do it. If we come back and you guys are able to get your last day of school in this beautiful building, we're going to do it, okay? So don't think that everything that I'm going to communicate to you guys here is the be-all, end-all, because we've got to have a plan moving forward so that we can still make things special for you guys, okay? And I'll get more into that here as we go. But speaking of that, a senior walkthrough came up as something I know that's very important to you all. That is, again, Mr. Groshek, Mr. Snyder, myself, the senior advisors, senior class officers talked about that. If there's a way to make that happen, we're going to make that happen, okay? So just kind of know that. Next thing, I know that we were going to have the Spring Carnival. Spring Carnival is kind of one of those things that we've got to make a call on sooner than later. We will make the final call on whether or not we're going to have the Spring Carnival here at the end of this month, okay? So just know that as well. Let's see, I talked about senior exit interviews. Okay, so caps and gowns. I was down here on Saturday afternoon getting all the caps and gowns organized by geographical location, because this Tuesday through Thursday, someone from the leadership team will be delivering your cap and gown, okay, to your house. I'm hoping that you guys will be there as we drop those things off. Everybody has addresses, everybody has a phone number that was in Sapphire. So if you see a strange number calling you that you don't know, or your family sees a strange number calling, it's probably one of us if it's between one of those or between those dates there. So again, Tuesday through Thursday, we're going to be delivering caps and gowns, so you guys can go ahead and start doing your decorations and stuff like that. And you know, hey, we're getting close to that time, and I want you guys to start thinking about graduation in the future as well. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. When we are delivering these caps and gowns, I know that Mrs. Gill is working on the senior slideshow. I know that she needs pictures. I don't necessarily know how she's done pictures in the past. However, I know she needs pictures. So, in an effort to kill multiple birds, right, with one stone, so to speak, if you have not given senior slideshow pictures to Mrs. Gill or whoever, okay, you can go ahead and you can kind of do a handoff when we are delivering your caps and gowns, okay? So if you have pictures that you want included in that senior slideshow, have them in a Ziploc bag, so when we come to your house to deliver your cap and gown, we can go ahead and take those from you and get those to Mrs. Gill as soon as possible, because I know that it's a long, intensive process of making that slideshow. So the sooner we can get that to her, the better, okay? All right, and as always, if you have questions about that, please email me. All right, so that is that. Next thing, big thing, graduation, okay? I have been thinking about alternative ways to do things for quite some time since this whole thing started. Because like you guys, this would be my first graduation as the principal here at Central Columbia, and I want it no other way than the traditional way. I also know that I've got a plan for that not to happen. So in my mind, as I was thinking about things, you know, you see people talking about drive-in movie theaters and social distancing and stuff like that. Guys, I want you to know where I'm coming from with this, right? Graduation's a special thing. I don't want to take anything away from that. And to be able to limit, and to have to limit what we would do in a traditional setting, I think does you guys a disservice or an injustice, okay? So, you know, I asked one of the great minds at Central Columbia here, Mrs. Tomashik, to kind of start thinking about some stuff. I don't know, it was probably last weekend at sometime. So I was in my office last week, and she had stopped by, and she said, well, hey, what if we did a reverse graduation? And I started thinking. I was like, well, like what? Like take the show to them? Yeah. Huh. That's a great idea. And that makes it special and all that good stuff. So, the plan B, again, worst case scenario, plan B. Speaking of plan B.
What's up, y'all?
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Oh, wow, that's great. Speaking of plan B, here's what we have come up with. And I pitched this to the senior class officers, and they like the idea. I think it's different. So I want you to picture this. Picture the homecoming parade, right? Picture the floats that you guys build on trailers and stuff like that, right? We're going to do a mobile graduation stage and bring the ceremony to your house if we have to, okay? You know, the idea is that you would be able to have your family there, all right, because obviously it is special. They'd be able to see it. We'd have the music blasting, the pomp and circumstance, so to speak, and we would be making stops at everybody's house or general vicinity to let you guys have that moment where you're walking across the stage, getting your diploma and getting your pictures, and being able to be with your family, okay? Then, after all that's done, we're going to have all this videoed and kind of, you know, all these different clips together. We're going to put a finished product like you would definitely see at a traditional graduation, aligning with the program, okay, for you guys to have via, I guess it would be DVD, and streaming online and so on. And then Mr. Groshek had a great idea too of once it's done, if we're not allowed to have graduation, then we do like a drive-in movie on the campus here, social distancing of course at that time, and watch the graduation all together. So that's kind of where we're at with the planning and the plan B. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, that's why you're getting the caps and gowns early, okay? And I want you guys to know, again, even if this comes to where we have to do this, which Mr. Groshek has said that May 20th, we would make the call whether to go ahead and start doing Plan B, because it's going to take a little bit of time to, get to everybody's house, get the video cut, and all that good stuff. But if we have to do that, we would know by May 20th, okay? Now, we could do all this work and, get down to close to graduation. Oh, and guess what? We're allowed to have graduation. Well, great. We'll basically have 2 graduations at that point then, okay? So just this is the worst case scenario plan that I feel is the best way to do it for you guys. Makes it special, still makes it a little bit, personal, being at home with your family. And let's be honest, right? Graduation's for your parents too, all right? They've, I don't want to say dealt with you for, this long, but, they have seen the ups and downs. They've seen you grow up. This is for them too, right? And we want to make that special for them as well. So that's the plan. Now, I'm going to start prepping for this as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a Google form of some sort that has, I'm going to need you guys to give us a legitimate contact number that we can reach somebody with. I know Sapphire has phone numbers and stuff like that, but they're not always right. All right? So we're going to need somebody's cell phone number. We're also going to, and someone who's going to answer, because on that day we'd like to be in contact, or those days I should say. Let's see, what else? Oh, I'm also going to ask you to put down maybe 1 or 2 what I call walk-up music songs, right? You guys know what walk-up music is? Been to a baseball game, right? A dude's walking up to the plate, and he's got like, I don't know, AC/DC or, something else playing in the background. Like, that's what I can see us doing as we pull up to your house, right? All your walk-up music. Obviously, it's got to be clean. Sorry. Unlike that first dance that I was witness to when I about lost it on the DJ. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's the plan. So obviously, if you guys have any questions for me, please shoot me an email, leave a voicemail on my phone. I'm pumped, guys. Like there are so many people here that want to help you and help make this special. Kudos to your teachers who have been just working tirelessly to make sure things are somewhat normal. Being super flexible. Students, great job too. Okay, make sure at some point between now and then, now and graduation, that you maybe take the time to reach out and thank your teachers, or thank the people who have helped you along the way. All right. Now, those are the plans moving forward. I'm excited about them, and you know what? I only pray that things go back to normal, but I think we have a good plan if indeed things stay the same. Okay, so you guys keep on doing what you're doing, keep working hard, control the input, and as always, go Blue Jays.
What's up, everybody? It's Mr. B. I miss all of you. I wanted to fill you in a little bit on senior seminar. A lot of you guys have been asking me questions about, resumes, post-secondary action plan, and so on. I've kind of been holding to myself until the unbelievably motivated class officers and Mr. Comstock and Mr. Groshek decided we're going to move forward with the exit interviews. I'm super pumped with that. Now, that being said, it is my personal goal to make sure that you're all prepared for these exit interviews. And by preparation, I mean interview etiquette, I mean your post-secondary action plan and your resume. I started going back and forth with you guys via Google Classroom on your resume and your action plans. I am going to devote all of my time to that from now until they're all done. Many of you haven't submitted them yet, so start submitting those, your scholarships, everything that's involved with senior seminar, because that will be a grade on your exit interview. And yeah, I guess that's all I have. I will send your class an email with exactly what's going to be happening, a time frame for senior seminar. I will have myself available at a certain time every day for a pop-in senior seminar, so you guys all don't have to be there at the same time. You guys have a link to my Calendly, so we are going to be communicating a ton over the course of the next 4 weeks. So, with that being said, stay positive, ladies and gentlemen. I'm throwing out positive vibes through this camera. Enjoy yourselves, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Expect an email from me today.